Do you want to break a man's ego? It's simple. Be unbothered. Nothing shatters a fragile ego faster than a woman who doesn't flinch when he pulls back.
This is what silence actually does to a man.
Number one, when she goes quiet, that's not peace. It's already over.
Your silence tells them that you aren't going to chase them.
One of the most shocking confessions a narcissist ever made to me was about what a woman's silence does to his soul.
Many women failed to realize what going silent on a man whenever there's a dispute in relationship, what it actually does to a man in relationship. Hello guys, welcome back. Yes, we are back again. Guys, May has finally admitted what going silent on them whenever there's dispute in relationship, what it actually does to them. If you're in a situation where whenever you have issue with your partner, you always yell, you always talk, you are very overly expressive, like you try. So going silent during that conflict, what is done to them, guys? That is what I want you all to listen to. So guys, let's hear it out.
Do you want to break a man's ego? It's simple. Be unbothered. Nothing shatters a fragile ego faster than a woman who doesn't flinch when he pulls back. No dramatic texts. No, we need to talk. Just silence and a glow up. The moment he realizes you're thriving without his attention, that ego starts to crack. Because men expect reactions. When you give them nothing, that's the real power move.
Your silence tells them that you aren't going to chase them, that you are not okay with where the situation is at, and you're not going to beg, you're not going to plead for somebody else's attention, that you respect yourself enough to say, I'm not going to be a part of this. I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to force you to be in my life. And if you don't want me in your life, I understand. That is the ultimate form of confidence because it shows that you don't need them. And that's not a negative thing. It shows that you are independent and that you don't look to them to take care of you. Okay? It shows confidence and that you are secure. And that is the most confident thing that you could ever show somebody, is that you are secure within yourself and you're happy with or without them. You'd like to repair it, you'd be open to repairing it, but you're not going to force yourself into their life if they don't want to talk or connect with you.
This is what silence actually does to a man, where you can save yourself time and energy and not be crashing out, trying to write these long paragraphs and do all this other stuff. And before you sit here and say, oh, he doesn't care, blah, 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 all this stuff, he's moved on. Yeah, he's moved on for now. Trust me, they come back. And if he doesn't come back, that's one that just really didn't care about you to begin with, so you shouldn't be chasing him anyways. That silence is hitting a little bit more harder because he realizes that he is no longer in control of what you actually have going on. One of the biggest things that he cannot control, and that is your emotions. He loves when you send those long text messages. He loves when you start crashing out, because that means he has a sense of control over you. He'll never know what he actually had or fumbled up until you walk away, give him silence, because now he can sit and think in his own thoughts. And he realizes, I had a good woman, but I wanted to continue to do things, and I took those things for actual granted.
Men underestimate a silent woman. Once your girl no longer trips over what you are doing and no longer tries to talk things out, she's done. The silence of a woman means she has exhausted herself emotionally trying to get you to listen and you didn't. Now, she no longer cares.
One of the most shocking confessions a narcissist ever made to me was about what a woman's silence does to his soul. This was a male narcissist. He admitted that it's one of the most threatening experiences for him. He said it makes him shiver. He explained that when narcissists give the silent treatment, they are fully aware that they are creating drama. They know exactly what they are doing. The silence they give is intentional, and it's designed to force submission, to make you chase them or to manipulate you into doing what they want. For them, silence is strategy, but a woman's silence is completely different. A woman's silence means she's done. There is no manipulation behind it, no hidden agenda, and no desire to control. It is the silence that comes after emotional exhaustion, after realization, and after closure. It means there is no longer any emotional excess left, and that is what terrifies a narc to the core. He said that this kind of silence deeply triggers them because suddenly they realize that a valuable source of emotional supply is gone. They cannot understand how someone who once reacted, cared, and engaged has completely become unreachable. It creates panic inside them because they know that after this silence, nothing they do will work anymore. They can cry, beg, rage, or create drama, but nothing will hit, nothing will stick. Once a woman is truly done, she's done. Nothing they say or do can disturb her peace. He described it as a soul-shaking experience, something they cannot stand or tolerate. And while he was saying this, I could actually see the fear on his face. It was real fear, not performance. At that moment, I understood that a woman's silence is the finality. That is the power of emotional withdrawal. When a woman stops reacting, the narcissist loses control, and that loss of control is what frightens a narc the most.
A woman's silence is actually dangerous. So don't mistake it for weakness, like she ain't got nothing to say. She just may have gotten to a point now where she no longer sees you as a person worth saying it to, because she's lost all respect for you. And like, as men, we think, oh, she giving us a silent treatment. She trying to teach us a lesson. No, not every time. A lot of times a woman goes quiet because she's now learned the lesson that you can't be taught anything because you don't have the emotional competence to understand her. So it's not about manipulation or her having power over you. It's about her taking back her power and her peace that she lost as a result of being with you. Now, one exception is whenever a woman goes quiet because she's sparing you from what she's thinking that she could say that would have you sliding down the wall with your chest hurting, like it's a matter of mercy. And that's why I say a woman's silence is actually dangerous, especially for the man who's found comfort and maybe even complacency in basically making her talk to deaf ears. Like, if that's your whole foundation for why you feel good in a relationship is that you got her talking to herself whenever she's trying to communicate what she needs and what her concerns are, I'm here to tell you, the day is coming when she's going to be done talking and therefore done listening and therefore done with you for good.
Listen to this. One of the most dangerous women is a silent woman. When a woman goes silent, be very careful. Because when a woman has given up, notice they'll stop talking. A complaining woman is a woman that still cares. When a woman stops talking, that means she stopped caring. So again, sometimes men, we complain about the fact that women keep talking. But the talking is because they're still engaged with feelings. But when the feelings have been removed, then you'll hear silence. And that's when she becomes dangerous. Don't let that go over your head.
When she goes quiet, that's not peace. It's already over. You see, if she's still bringing up things that bother her, it means she still cares enough to fight for the relationship. But a woman's detachment begins when she gets tired of repeating herself and nothing ever changes.
This is a first-hand information from the main gender itself. This is not something that we, the ladies, are the one trying to think or say, oh, could it be this or could it be that? This is a first-hand information from them directly. And guys, it's very, very obvious because this too much talking, sometimes it makes you to lose your respect. Like your self-worth will reduce drastically because you are trying to explain, and most of the time, explanation they don't really take. So when you go silent on them, silent treatment, it forces them to, like, most times realizes their mistake. It forces them to rethink. It forces them to feel as if oh, am I no longer important to her? Why is she so quiet? Like, it made them to be uncomfortable because you are not usually like that. So there's this picture, there's the image, there's this belief, there's this perspective of you that they have in their head. So when you go silent, it makes him to start thinking, oh, what could be her plan? What could be like, what is she thinking? So guys, going silent, it makes a lot of sense.
Silence does work, but only if you do this. Most women go silent hoping that this guy will start chasing, but only the guys that are afraid to lose you will actually start chasing you. If this guy is not emotionally invested already, silence is not what's going to make him come back. Most women get so mad and upset. Oh, this guy didn't chase me. He didn't do this. Well, first off, if you go silent, you need to be working on yourself, not worried about if he's going to chase you or not. You need to be bettering yourself, because even if a man sees you bettering yourself or see you getting attention from another man, he gets upset. Men that know they lost a good woman, they hate, and I mean hate, when another man shows that woman attention. He has to be emotionally invested already where he liked you. He was just playing these hard to get games. I always say silence is not a trick to make a man start chasing you. It's actually for you to stop chasing him and to see what his true intentions are. He will only chase you once you have gone completely ghost and completely silent. The funny thing is, when you stop talking, when you have had enough of his bullshit and you go ghost, that is when they always want to come back. When you have nothing else to say, when you've given him 400 chances and he doesn't act right, but on that 401th chance, that's when he wants to come back because you're gone. Silence brings the best out of people because they want what they can't actually have. And as soon as somebody wants you, they end up wanting you. And at this moment, you're contemplating whether you want to take him back once he starts to come running back. But let me tell you, nothing ever changes. He puts you in that same cycle. In a few days, he will continue to do the same thing that he's always done. Oh, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. It's always empty fucking promises. They don't change until you officially walk away completely from them. Silence will make a man realize one or two things. A, he fumbled you and you went silent and you stopped talking to him and he is trying to run back to you because he realized he fumbled a good woman. Or two, you went silent, you realized you were putting in all the effort, all the energy, all the work, and he never came chasing you because actually he didn't care. As long as you was putting in energy and effort, he loved it because he had to do nothing and he was comfortable. Silence will always expose their true intentions on what they actually wanted.
What silence does to a man, part 2. 1, it signals high self-worth. High value is sub-communicated through demonstrated actions and behaviors, not words. You demonstrate your value and the number of options that you have by what you are willing to walk away from, not how much pain you can endure. Detachment signals high self-respect. Why? Because you do what you know, not what you feel. And that emotional discipline is rare, and scarcity increases perceived value. 2, it shatters his ego. When you give your forgiveness away as if it is nothing, it will be treated as such because it is human nature to value what we work for. What you think is building his admiration is actually building his entitlement because he thinks she's giving me all this grace and forgiveness and I have done absolutely nothing to earn it. And so if she's giving it to me, then I must deserve it.
Okay, ladies, there is nothing more powerful than being indifferent. Okay, you may think that blocking somebody or sending somebody a paragraph, giving them a piece of your mind is what is going to help you win. No, the only thing that will help you win as a woman is staying silent. Please do not underestimate the power of silence, especially as a woman. Women are expected to be emotionally driven. Men expect women to act on impulse. And when you are the kind of woman that signals you're unbothered, you're unfazed, and you give absolutely no emotional reaction to a man's tricks, and you don't surrender to his games, and you don't take the bait, you are going to be the most powerful woman, and you are going to be the kind of woman that stays rent free in this man's head. Okay, it's the women that care too much, they're the ones that get taken advantage of. Okay, remember, as humans, we don't value things when they're given to us freely. We value things when we've had to work for them or we had to earn those things in some way because it feels like a reward for us. So you're the kind of woman who's very indifferent. The day you do show even the tiniest amount of emotions, the man is going to be over the moon because he's going to feel like he finally got you. He's going to feel like he was able to access this sacred part of you. So this is why vulnerability, ladies, is a gift. Speaking is a gift. Everything about you as a woman is a gift. Please only give it to people who earn it. So this is why never underestimate the power of silence for a woman. Please don't be wasting your energy and exercising your vocal cords on these people who don't deserve it. Stay silent, show no emotion, compose those emotions.
To cut the long story short, men respond to silence The only thing that will make a man to rethink about his decision, his action towards you, is just going silent. That is just the short summary of this whole thing. So guys, what do you think? Will you be trying this out? I mean, going silent on your partner whenever there's a disagreement. You must not always crashing out all the time, over communicating. Most of the time it doesn't work. It just reduces your self-worth. It makes you feel like, oh, most of the time they label you as being troublesome, you nag, you like. When you go silent, this fixes everything. I think you should try this out.
Silence will force this man to respect you, and let me tell you what I mean by that. You've begged, you pleaded, you sent that long text message. Think about it. What has it done for you at the end of the day? Absolutely nothing. When a man feels that he is losing you, this is when respect will come into play. If he feels as if he can't lose you, why would he try to respect you? Because he knows you're going to keep coming back over and over and over again. Men fear what they can lose. When you are forced to go silent, this is when he will realize, hey, this woman is not putting up with anything that I have going on. When you go silent, it will expose one or two things about him. If you go silent and he does not chase you, that means he was only in it if you put in time, energy, and effort. If you go silent and he does chase you and he is trying to pursue you after you go silent because he realizes, okay, this woman is not chasing me anymore. What can I do now? Like, I have to put in energy and effort. It will say, okay, maybe he does like you, but this is not a guarantee. But if he does start to chase you, this is when you see the process through, and this is when you say, okay, let me see if this guy actually wants to be with me or if he's actually playing games with me still. Either or, you're going to get an answer, and it may not be the answer that you're looking for, but it is an answer.
You know, something I've learned as a wife that helps you to be a better wife is something that y'all ain't gonna want to do. And that is why most people don't have successful marriages. They aren't good wives. This is about my wives. This has nothing to do with men. Do not come in my comments talking about men, because it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. So before I start talking, do not get in my comments saying nothing about this video. This is about you. The advice is to literally let go, to literally be quiet, to literally be soft, to literally be feminine, to be secure within yourself, to the point where you are not even worried, you're not even focused on the man, you're not focused on your husband, to the point where you are focused on you and you allow God to deal with your husband. You will get the best results out of your husband, out of your marriage, when you learn to quit controlling. When you learn to quit having stuff to say, when you learn to quit being attitudey, when you learn to find your own hobby, when you learn to like yourself, when you learn to want to be by yourself and be comfortable being by yourself, that is when your marriage will get better. That is when you will become a better wife. But as long as you are worried about him and what he's doing and in the business and just trying to control things and, oh, no, I don't think we should do that, that is when you will get the worst man. That is when he's not going to want to be with you. Men are thinkers. They are made to think. They are made to figure out things. And that is why you should allow him to think and to allow him to just flourish. But if you always have your hands and stuff, he'll never flourish. So that is one piece of advice that I have to give to my ladies, is to let go. Quit controlling things. Be secure within yourself. You will get amazing results.
Your silence as a woman is truly so powerful, you have no idea. And when it's used right, it can be a man's greatest wake-up call and the deepest realization that he'll ever experience. Your absence will force a man to finally see the truth that you've been trying to tell him throughout the entire time of being with him. Your silence as a woman in a man's life creates space. And when you create space, it does two things. One, you remove the benefits of convenience from his life. You're no longer the patient listener who you once were. You're no longer cleaning up the emotional mess that you didn't even make in the first place. And two, it also creates creates a void. And within that void, a man now has to self-reflect on the things that you've been telling him the whole time. Over-explaining isn't going to get a man to self-reflect. Overcompensating is not going to get a man to self-reflect. Over-performing is not going to get a man to self-reflect. Over-communicating is not going to get a man to self-reflect. You have to create distance by removing yourself and giving him silence so he's able to self-reflect. Unfortunately, your silence will sometimes cut deeper than anything you could ever tell him. And I'm saying unfortunately because you shouldn't have to go to that extent, but in some cases, this is the reality of it. And the most fascinating thing about all of this is that when a woman finally decides to leave a man's life, usually it's once and for all, because women will plead, they will explain, they will even cry, they will pour out their emotions to us as men. And in some cases, we don't listen until it's too damn late. Here we have a woman telling us the issues that are existing within the dynamic, and we choose to not listen to her until she finally decides to leave us. That's when we suddenly start to care, but by then it's too damn late. And when a woman finally decides to leave a man's life, usually she's mentally and emotionally checked out, and there's no turning back. There's no getting her back at all once she finally decides to leave. And it's not even about her not loving the man anymore. It's about her finally choosing to love herself. That is exactly why your silence as a woman is the greatest wake-up call to a man. Love doesn't thrive in neglect. It thrives in effort. It thrives in reciprocity. Don't be the woman who stayed and endured all this neglect thinking that's what made her worth something. Be the woman who got away and the woman who chose herself.
When your silence says, I am not competing for a spot in your life anymore, honey, that's when he finally realizes, like, oh shit, I lost her. What you need to understand is that Maserati doesn't run commercials because value doesn't chase attention. It commands it. The same goes for you. When your standards finally mean more to you than his attention, that's when the game's end.
Losing access to you will make him crazy. It will make him lose his mind. This is not just an opinion, it's an actual FBI tactic. It's a tactic that they use during negotiations. Attention is currency. Every text, every call, it's like a small payment. So when you stop paying, the brain goes insane. It is super uncomfortable. And the hunger for validation grows. And then you'll see, that's when they come back. That's when they start chasing again. And you don't have to play games. You don't need to play hot and cold, but understand that your controlled absence creates demand. Basic supply and demand principle. When your presence is constant, it's cheap. But when it's sporadic, it becomes very expensive. So don't be surprised, he will come back. I know some of you get really apprehensive to stay silent, stay quiet, try to focus on your own thing when a man is pulling away, but truly that is the key to getting him back if that's what you're interested in. Men do pull away. It's part of what they do. It's part of their biology. They need to have that time in the cave, and not always doing it the right way, but still, he will pull away. So you don't necessarily need to punish him for doing that, but then if you see that he's pulling away and he's taking it for granted what that makes you feel, then you just go silent. Like I said, silence is so powerful, even the FBI uses it as a negotiation tactic.
Women, a man will fall in love when you're not actually chasing him. And as crazy as that sounds, let me just explain. First off, a man is meant to hunt. He is meant to go after what he wants in life. And if you're sitting here chasing him, you're out of your feminine energy at this point. And he's out of his masculine energy at that. If you have to go and chase a man, that man is not going to be for you.
This is what these men have told us, that it worked 100%, because it forces them to deep think. It forces them to rethink. It forces them to think about what they are really doing to you, or what it to you. So guys, let me hang it here. What do you think, guys? Will you be trying this out? And if you've already tried it out, is it really proving that it's working? Let us know in the comment section. Till I come your way again next time, please remain blessed and bye for now.